Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us today. My name is JC Lopez, and I serve as the Vice President of Student Affairs here at Grinnell. Welcome, incoming students. We're so excited to welcome you to our community this fall. One of the great things about Grinnell is that we have students from all 50 states and more than 60 countries. So we will be recording this session today to make sure that others have an opportunity to hear this important information. So with that being said, feel free to put your questions, individual questions in the chat, but also be mindful of the space that we're in right now. And I am honored to present Paul, who is working with us in Residence Life. So I'll give it to Paul to introduce himself and start us off with the presentation. So welcome.
Hello, everyone. Like JC said, my name is Paul Frostlau. I am the Associate Director of Housing Operations here at Grinnell College. And so I'm going to walk you through a little bit of an introduction of our office and then talk through some of the nitty-gritty with our application process that's coming up. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So a little bit about who we are and our mission. So, our goal is to provide a foundation that encourages an environment of safety, health, comfort, and inclusive residential living and learning experience for our students. So, focusing on that through various different strategies, trying to make sure that we are getting a good foundation for our students as they're coming into college. Promoting, we want to make sure that we promote a successful transition to Grinnell College. So we know that this is a big transition coming from high school or wherever from before. And so we want to make sure that we are helping all of our students get acquainted to our community. And then introducing students to our self-governance process, responsible decision making, and then making sure we're being responsible with engaging in our diverse community. So, like JC said, we have students coming from 50 states and 60 countries. And so we have a wide array of students coming to visit us and be in community with us here at Grinnell. And so we want to make sure that we are being responsible. Some quick facts about our residence life department. At Grinnell, we have about 1,500 students living with us on campus. Uh, 60 plus live-in student leaders. So those are community advisors who live on the floors with our students to help build community and help our students create connections. We have 6 live-in professional staff members. So those are full-time employees for the college, and we call them our residence life coordinators. They work to manage these residence halls, build community with students, and handling any facility concerns or other issues that are coming up as you're living in the halls with us. Our residence life department is made up of 19 residence halls, 5 language houses, 4 project houses. Our language and project houses are just right across from main campus. And then we have our residential affinity housing experience, or our RAHI spaces. Those are more identity-based housing opportunities for our returning students. This is just a quick slide to show you who makes up our residence life department. So we have Dennis Perkins, who is our assistant dean. Mfan, she is our associate director of residence life and student conduct. Myself, and then Chris Juni, he is our program coordinator. The 4 that I just listed, we all work in the main office of residence life in the Joe Rosenfield Center. And then we have our 6 residence life coordinators. So Mary, who oversees Cleveland, Maine, and James. Todd, who oversees Clark, Coles, Dibble, Norris, and the language houses. Then we have Kevin, who oversees Gates, Langen, Rawson, Smith, and Yonker. Izzy, who oversees Renfro and our project houses. Ace is over East Campus, which makes up Kershaw, Lazier, Rathje, and Rose. And then Zach oversees Luce, Reed, and Haynes. So these are the individuals that make up our residence life department and help our students get connected to campus. And then, of course, our 60 plus student leaders who are living in the halls as well. So, adjusting to life at Grinnell, our residence life staff helps students navigate various different hardships or challenges, and then just the regular getting connected to college. So, first time sharing a space with others, that can be kind of a challenge for some students. And so, making sure that we are talking about that. What does this look like? How can we make sure that you are adjusting well to that experience? If and when challenges, roommate conflicts, or stress comes up, our staff is going to help mediate some of those challenges as well. Our campus and then our greater community has a lot of different resources for our students to access. So sometimes we students need help being able to find which resources are going to help them out and then how to access them. So our staff is going to also assist with that. Sometimes homesickness is going to come up for some of our students, so making sure that our staff is there and helping address some of those issues. And then connecting students to our G Core, which is our curriculum experience through residence life, whether it's floor events or building events, whatever it is, getting students connected to one another. And then also our various core campus organizations, getting you connected and working with other students that way. All right, so we're going to talk through our housing application process a little bit here. So the housing portal is where our application lives. And so you'll go here to fill out your application, and then you'll also find your assignment and housing request forms. But what I'm going to do is walk you through the actual application so that you can see it if you haven't already been there yet. So the links to get you here are on our website, and we will also be sharing that in the chat for you. But once you navigate to this page, you will be able to log in with Grinnell Single Sign-On, and it'll take you to this main page here. First year student info, this is really going to give you some of the deadline information and try and get you acquainted with how to build a roommate group and how to do your application. There's a couple of documents here for you to select and click on. The main part that I want to show you, though, is our housing application and selection. So here, this is going to show you that, yes, you want to do one for the 25-26 academic year. So I've gone through and filled out just some of information just so you can see what it looks like. But the first part here, this is going to show you your progress of where you're at in the application. So first of all, you're going to do all of your emergency information, making sure that you get that filled out. As you save and continue throughout the process, you'll get little check marks up here when you've completed that. You're going to do your contract holder information. So this is just more information about yourself. And then this is where you start doing more answering questions about yourself. So you can put in the gender identity that most aligns with your identity. Here's where it's going to talk about medical accommodation requests. So this says you have until June 1st to meet with and go through Accessibility and Disability Resources Office. You do have more time than that. We would hope that all connections have been made by June 1st, but we understand like sometimes that process takes a little bit longer. But again, this information lives in the application process. So you'll keep saving and continuing all the way through your housing and roommate preferences. This is where you need to be really specific with what you're looking for and what you're interested in with a roommate. So you can see living communities. This is mainly for gender-specific housing. So our gender-specific housing is Cleveland, which is an all-female identified residence hall, and then second floor of Dibble is also all-female. And then substance-free housing is another option that we have. So you can either say, yes, you are interested in substance-free, or no, you don't want substance-free. That's not something that you're particularly concerned about. But this helps us get students aligned with where they're at with that portion. And then here's where you can add preferences regarding the gender of your roommate. This sometimes can get tricky. You need to make sure that you click the add, and then when you select make sure that you click OK so that it actually pops up there and shows that you have made a selection. Right here, so when you are doing roommate groups, you have to type in a specific screen matching name so that you are able to find each other. This right here is what's going to tell you what your screen name is. So if someone wanted to match with me in the roommate matching section, they would have to type in this, which is just my email address. But everyone will be able to see what their specific screen name is right here. So then our housing and roommate form, this is the About Me section. So this is also how we help determine placements and roommate matching for our first year students. So here we match on a 72% matching rate or higher. So that pulls in information from all of the ways you are answering these questions here. So smoking, like, are you comfortable with smoking? Are you comfortable with having a roommate who smokes? So on and so forth throughout here. Talking about what time do you like to go to bed? Some of our main things that we see students needing to connect on so that they can have a successful living experience. And then down here, you are able to free write what your ideal roommate description is. There is a character limit. I believe this first box is about 500. So keeping that short and sweet, but also making sure that you're able to describe kind of what your ideal roommate you're looking for. And then a way for you to, the next box is how you can share a little bit more about yourself. Again, this all helps with the matching process. So save and continue through that. On mine, I had selected, yes, I want substance-free housing. So that's why this is popping up. You'll give this a read. It shows you where our substance-free spaces are, and it has you type in your student ID number that, yes, you agree to substance-free. If you didn't say you wanted substance-free, this page wouldn't come up for you. And then this is where we get to ranking our residence halls. So you do have to go in and rank all 19 of them. This helps when some of our more sought after residence halls are filled. We still know where you are preferencing all 19 of them. So you'll have to go through and add every single one. There will be a drop up, a drop down box. So you can see that I only have 18, so I have to add preference. It'll pop up, and then Cleveland is the only one that I've selected. So after you've selected a residence hall, it does go away from the list. But yes, you do have to go and rank all 19 before you can move forward. This here shows that I'm not in a roommate group. So like I said, that screen match name is where I would need to go to find the person who I want to match with. You will create a group name. So that's another way that you can search for a roommate group, is to find a group name or create a group name, and then everyone can type that in to get matched up. And then you have some mandatory profiles that have to match. So you both have to either say gender specific or a substance-free floor. If that doesn't apply to you, like you didn't want those, then you don't have to do that. If you are not interested in going into a roommate group, you can skip this page. In Residence Life, we will match you up with people. So once you get through the roommate group portion, your application is complete. And all you have to do is hit return to home, and it'll bring you back to this main page here. Like I had said earlier, this is where this page is where you will also see where you have been placed and what your housing assignment is. That won't become available until later in the summer, but when you're on the home page, it'll pop up right here. It'll have the term and the building and room number that you're in, and then it will also show you roommate information. We're going to go back to the presentation. All right, so we need to look at the timeline. What are we working with on getting all of this complete? So our new student checklist and the housing application opened up back on May 10th. Our housing application first deadline is June 13th. And then starting the 23rd is when I will start working on placements of students. So I'll be gathering all of that data, getting it to where students are connected and matched, and then placing them. June 30th is when you should be able to log into the housing portal and see what your 2025 fall housing assignment is. August 22nd is going to be our move-in day experience for you all. You will be receiving more information later on about particulars for move-in day, things that you need to be prepared for, along with the new student orientation schedule, things like that. And then August 22nd through September 8th, we have a room freeze. And so what this means is any requests for moving rooms won't be able to be met during this time because we need students to get an opportunity to settle in. There's a lot of new coming up. You just moved to Grinnell, you moved into a residence hall. There's so much new that we need to just kind of hit the pause button and see what it is and what it means to be living with another person. So after September 8th and after we've had an adjustment period, if there are instances where we need to look about moving rooms, it will begin after that. All right, so I went through a lot of information. It was probably pretty quick, but I wanted to open the floor up to questions and see what we can get answered for you.